with the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Campbell and an opening prayer by Councilman Sands.
Please rise. And begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we are thankful to gather this evening. We're thankful to celebrate our independence and your providence guiding our founding fathers. We ask that you would bless Tokerville and the United States. We ask that you would help us to contend for truth and freedom. We ask that you would give us wisdom and discernment this evening as we work through the city business. And we lift up these prayers in your Son, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Joey. On the agenda down at Ash Creek, Mike couldn't be here tonight. I have one little thing to report on that, but I would like to give that time to Bailey so she can report for us on the 4th of July prep for tomorrow and things that she needs us to do. So if that's okay with you guys, we can change that agenda real quick. And then if everybody likes that, if the approval of agenda.
And Mayor, I'd like to change the order for business item F1
Okay.
to be the last business item and move a closed session before business item F1.
Okay. I have a
That'd be my
motion.
motion.
I have a motion for
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, we are going to move on to disclosures of declaration of conflict from anybody on the city council. Mayor, I have none. Perfect. All right, consent agenda review and possible approval of meeting minutes from June 20th, special city council meeting June 20th, 2024, city council meeting June 26th and 2024, and specials, the June 26th special city council.
Mayor,
So-
make a motion to approve the consent agenda as is.
I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, real quick on Ash Creek before we get to Bailey. We have a citizen concerned about the charge on she has a nightly rental, so she has a commercial business. The sewer district, throughout the district, every city, if you have a nightly rental or a commercial license, you pay $7 extra on your bill.
Went up $2 from 5 to 7.
Yeah, $7, basically $7 a month. She uses very little bit of water, but the fact that she can use a lot of water, and whether she is or not, that's the way it is in all the cities. I don't think we can make an exception. So I did look into it. If anybody's asked you why there's that $7 fee, it's just because commercial. If you're making money, then it costs a little bit more money at your home. So anyways, I told her I would look into it, and I will call her and tell her the same thing I told her already, but that's after I talked to Mike at the sewer district and a couple other city managers and asked them about that. So anyways, that's all I have to report on the sewer district. Bailey, we're going to give you some minutes and tell us about what you need us to do tomorrow and the agenda and what you need.
Perfect. Thank you. I just come here, right?
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay. So I kind of wanted to give you guys the event schedule, and I'll print this out for you guys. You guys can all have it. But tomorrow at 7 a.m., line up for the Pots and Pans Parade. 7:45, the Cruise and Crawl starts. 8 a.m. is when breakfast is. 8:30, the carnival starts. 9:30, we're gonna dunk you, the mayor. Okay. Okay. And then
Now you know.
yeah, that's the time you can expect it to happen.
Are we doing a fundraiser with dunking the mayor? Are we charging like $10 a throw?
Everything is free.
No,
Everything
everything's
is
free.
free.
I mean, people would
Everything's
pay.
They would. They would.
I got $100 for
You
10
could probably fund the whole city with all the people on dunk
Oh, I
me.
love it. I love it. Then we're doing the watermelon eating contest at 9:45, and then 10 a.m. the frozen T-shirt contest. So that's what we have. We got a couple more volunteers. I just checked. We have 2 more, but I do need someone for the information booth and for cotton candy. I know that we kind of have someone, but only for an hour. She can only help. So if any of you guys, after you cook breakfast, want to go to the information booth, and basically you just give people the tickets. you give everyone 10 tickets, and then it's a lost and found and first aid kit will be there. So you just sit and you give out tickets. So that's kind of what I'm needing. But besides that, I think we're okay.
What time do you need us there?
I need you guys there at 7:30 would be great.
That's the
Um,
latest.
At the latest.
We'll be there at 7 to set up all the cooking. and-
Okay, if you're going to do the pots and pans, then that's great. But if you're just coming to
We'll go get the kitchen set up.
yeah,
Yeah, like we normally do. Unless
Yeah.
you want to go with me at 6 to the grocery store and get the food.
yeah. Yep, I'll be there at 6. I'm gonna be there at 6 a.m. So if you want to be there early, you can. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I think you're doing a killer job. I don't, but I know what's going on tomorrow. We've been working a bunch this week, so.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for Bailey?
Well, I can give you a list of kind of what we've got going on. Maybe
Yes, that'd be
if people
great.
are tuning in, we have the ice cream, ring toss, fishing booth, popcorn, bottle toss. We have the royalty booth. That's super fun. And I have some flyers for them to pass out to announce the pageant. We have our information booth, cotton candy, the dunk tank. We have a live band. The fire truck's coming. The cruise and crawl's happening. We have that really cool combat car. Is that what you call it? I don't know what to call it.
An MRAP, the personal,
Armored personnel carrier.
yes, the preparedness group is going to be there with the booth.
There you
They'll
go.
be putting that
Yes,
information
yes.
out.
So there we have it. I mean, it's going to be really fun.
Children's
Yes,
face painting
children's face painting.
or
See,
adult face
I
painting.
can't even list off everything. There's going to be so many fun things. So, yeah. So,
So
trying to think of anything else.
there are a lot of folks that may come from out of town to see the car show.
Mhm.
And I know that we've got a 7:30 sign on the electric signs that we have. And I'm wondering if we could change that, because that's saying 7:30 right now. But if we could just throw the car show and the time on that, I don't know if it's too late
Well,
to do
the
that, but
car
during the
show's gonna be,
day.
they're going to roll in and then the cars will be parked there the whole time.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
they will be.
yeah,
So,
they'll be
they're
parked.
not going to get up and leave. They're going
Right.
to,
They'll be there the whole time.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's good.
I think it was a little too late for that.
Yeah.
We could call JD and they'd do it first thing. They got a couple of the public works guys be there in the morning.
I don't know if they're there 15 minutes early and wait for as they crawl in, yeah,
Yeah.
they'll see us there.
I can help in the booth, the ticket booth if you want.
Yay, that would be great, Val. Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yes.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Sorry, I didn't dress very nice for that.
No.
song.
You've been working all day. Thank you, Bailey. Fire district. So just for your information, the fire district is starting a truth and taxation on the fire district. So they tried this 2 years ago. If you remember, they wanted 90% increase. So now they've gone 2 years without an increase. We have a whole new fire chief. We have new administration. They've cut the budget way down. They've pulled stuff out of savings for the last 2 years to make it, but now they've pretty much deleted their savings. We've been trying to get a sales tax increase that will go directly to EMS, but we just can't seem to get it through the state legislators. So I had a sit-down meeting yesterday with Joe Ellison, our representative, and he's been assured that it will be towards the very first of the next session, which is the first of next year, for that sales tax. The district is, they do need some money, but what they're trying to do is get a truth and taxation, and then if the sales tax comes through, the truth and taxation will only be for 1 year tax increase, and they will cut the taxes down to lower than what they are now. So, and I'm on that, and I've been pushing for that for a long time. I will make sure that actually happens. And so that's where we're at. We're kind of waiting on the state to help us fund. And the reason for that is we're trying to get a lot of the tourists that come through here to help pay for our EMS. So we get a ton of tourists through here. We have to have, because of all the tourists, we have to have extra EMS than what we would normally have to have. And it's coming out of our pockets. The nice thing about the sales tax increase It would not be on food. It would not be on any medical supplies, any doctor's visits, any fuel. There's just a list of things that it is not increasing on. So it's just on a portion of that. But as the county sits, it would pretty much fund the fire district, and we could take our property tax section of the fire district and cut it back to really small numbers. So Darren, you sat in that meeting with us on early Monday afternoon, so before the other meeting. So that's pretty accurate. Yeah. So that's what, and I've been working on this for years. I've been trying to go to a monthly fee instead of property tax, and they just can't figure out how to do that legally. Now the sales tax. So we're trying to find ways to fund it that just doesn't come out of property tax. So that's what's going on with the fire district. Tomorrow, the fire, for fireworks, we have our ordinance that you can have them at the city parks until 1 a.m. So if anybody's watching, remember, if you're doing fireworks, make sure you're at a city park. So, okay, have any questions for fire district stuff? Bob, you're up.
We're not having a meeting tomorrow, are we, Bob?
No, sir. I got some pushback.
Hey,
for
this
that.
is an old video.
Yeah, so this is from 5/24, I believe, but it was the most recent video that Judd has flown in. So there has been a few changes since then.
There's a pebble in the road now.
I don't know if anyone was aware of that. It's probably news to everybody, right? Yeah,
Small truck.
big truck, yeah.
Big as my house.
So just kind of an update. JP is drilling on the south side slope right now. They'll be blasting this week. I haven't pinned them down to when that'll be exactly.
This week,
Yeah,
not tomorrow?
possibly Friday, but
Okay.
again, they've been kind of sneaky,
Right, they don't want 500 people sitting there
Yeah.
watching it.
So I think they're going to try to blast Friday,
Well,
but
let me know so I can watch.
Yeah.
You tell me.
I will.
I'm just kidding.
yeah. I touched base with Jim Nordquist with AGC, who's the engineer that's doing the work on remediation of the north slope. And he's had some personal things that he's been doing. So he's working on that right now. And he told me probably early next week, he'd have those recommendations to JP. So he's probably a little slower than we'd hoped, but I guess that's the time of year we're in. The other two things kind of going on in the parkway right now is Rocky Mountain Power is working through JUC to bring their power line up from the south.
Okay.
And so I think we're pretty close to getting that all done. I
Nice.
needed to add a
That's a
few
little quicker
things.
than I thought it would be.
There's actually construction drawings that the JEC members are signing now.
Okay.
Very minimal red lines from other utility companies. So they've gone through the process with our joint utility committee. So
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yep. And then Dominion Energy they have approval to finish coming in from the north. They're waiting on approval, and Darren may know this, but they need a right of way to cross the Conservancy District on the north. And that was supposed to happen on July 1st. So I didn't hear.
they haven't
Okay.
said whether they got that yet.
So then they'll be able to come, finish getting onto the parkway and finish going across Old Church and Firelight Drive. So they don't want to do any of that until they can do it all at the same time. So I think that Water Conservancy District approval was the last thing.
Okay.
So hopefully this next week we hear about a date for when they'll mow back in and start working on that.
Okay. So Jim at AGEC, think maybe next week we'll have some
Yeah,
numbers for
I'll
us?
stay on them next week to see if
Okay.
we can't, get those recommendations. And-
Because I can, whatever, the north is going to do the same thing as the south is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
we can lie to ourselves all we want, but it's just it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. Anything else? Any questions for
Yeah, do you have
Bob?
any questions for me?
Any completion dates yet?
No, because really that north side, we'll have to process a change order for that, and there'll be a number of days that they ask for. So
July 25th then.
Mhm.
Just so you know, that north side is going to include a powerful move as well, which is with Rocky Mountain Power, and probably going to be an H structure, what they call an H structure. They haven't got us a price on that yet. And Rocky Mountain Power is probably the guy that does that is out. He's out next week. So.
Anything you need from us?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if, also the water tank, if you want me to tell you anything about that.
You missed your chance for more money, so that's down. That's off the table now.
You can tell us the problem we have right now with it.
Well, we don't have power to the pump house that
Right.
pumps the water to the water tank. So that's the biggest problem.
Well-
The contractor's waiting on a couple of parts to finish up their work. There's a little grading that has to go on at the pump house. And then a fence will be installed around that.
Okay.
So he's just waiting on that to get back here. And then, yes, that's the big issue is how we get power to the pump house.
Some possible solutions there.
Right, but what about a PRV valve? We figured, did we get that working yet?
We're having a meeting next week to discuss the possible temporary power somehow. And then also that PRV.
Extension cord from your house. Close.
Darren and I had some great ideas. But then the state said, hey, you're gonna have some other problems, so.
Just the water, we got some, we always have to stay compliant with water standards and keeping it clean and all of those things. And
Yeah, it's getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else for Bob?
Thank you.
Hey, thanks,
you bet.
Bob.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
good weekend. Stay safe. No fires. Okay. All right, Jason Levitt. He is our Public Safety Director, the man with the plan.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. So I am especially looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be the first event that the city's put on that we're going to have a public safety director. I'm happy about that. I feel like there shouldn't be any community that's without protection. We don't have a police department here, obviously, and if we're lucky, we may have one of the sheriffs that's going to stop by. But in the event that we don't, I'll be there to kind of liaison between what we need to have happen and the sheriff's department should we need them. And we'll pray that we don't. But I'm going to lead the parade for the kids. I'm going to drive my personal vehicle. We're going to decorate it tonight. We're going to have some flags and look very patriotic. We'll protect the kids and make sure that they get down to the park safe. And then I will be at the event from the beginning to the end. I'm going to be there with a smile on. I know nobody in this room thinks of me as a boogeyman, but I'm certain that there are citizens out there that hear the phrase code enforcement and they think boogeyman. So I'm going to try to do what I can to dispel.
Why? That's why we hired you.
You want a boogeyman?
Yeah, I mean, look at you. You're a big dude.
Well, I'm going to have a smile on and I'm going to be shaking hands. I'll have my uniform and I'm going to answer questions and have conversations as friendly as possible. And hopefully people will ask me questions about how we're operating and what we're doing and how the city's going to be, what kind of result the city will have, having my position filled here. So that's what I'm going to do, dispel any fears as best I can. I don't want to get into any specifics about the work that I've been doing. If you guys have questions for me, I'll be happy to do the best I can to answer them, but I don't want to get into addresses or names or details about the cases that I'm working. But I think it's sufficient that you all know that I've worked through probably 14 cases, maybe 15 that I've actually closed. So when I first came on, there was about 32. We've had a few new ones come in, nothing serious. Closed out 14, like I said, 14 or 15. I have been out and made contact with several citizens, knocked on doors and making requests. I've been received very well. It's been a positive thing overall. Sent one letter on a particularly sensitive case that Jerry Jager, our prosecuting attorney, and I have worked on together. We believe that one will probably go the distance, but we'll see how it goes. We hope there won't be any kind of prosecutions. My goal isn't prosecutions. My goal is just compliance. Let's stay amiable. That will be my goal moving forward. There's another interesting case that some of the managers were nervous about. I broke right through that. Made friends with this gentleman, and we'll be friends for a long time. And we're going to fix that problem. So anyhow, things are moving forward in a positive direction, I feel like, and I like the work. I'm happy to be here.
Good.
You guys have any questions for me? Anybody?
Better than what Chuck paid you to do.
I'm just kidding. I'm still doing what Chuck asked me to do. I'm only doing 10 hours a week.
I'm just poking fun.
So.
I do have a little more time in the
the
summer,
de-
obviously.
The
but
details with name and addresses, that's just kept with the city manager then, is that correct?
Yes,
And the prosecutor,
Yep.
yeah,
my supervisor and the prosecutor when he's needed.
Okay.
All that stuff
and
is
hopefully we don't
confidential.
need the prosecutor very often. I
That's
know
my-
we're
that's
using them
my
now
goal.
to get ordinances and all sorts of stuff set up, but
Well, yeah, there's lots of ways that he's very, very beneficial, and I'm
Yeah.
thrilled to have him. He's going to be a great partner. But when it comes down to needing him for prosecutions, that's not my goal. I don't want to prosecute anybody in the city. But when we have legitimate complaints and violations, legitimate violations of our code, we'll do what we need to do to protect all the citizens.
I'm tickled to have you here, honestly. It's
Happy to
gonna-
be here.
It's
Thank
going to
you.
help
You
tremendous.
guys were going to have a meeting to start like getting the code into compliance. Are you guys already done that or
So,
you did start it?
yeah, we've started that. Jerry Jager has a bunch of county code that we feel like may fit better, but he's going to present that at, I believe the next one, isn't that what he said?
Okay.
Week. And basically, time. Sorry. This is.
That's good. In and out.
And with regards to the codes that we feel like need some revision or to be reworked, we're looking at all those. And we may propose some changes to some code that may be outdated or maybe isn't as reasonable as perhaps we think it may be. So we'll present those in time.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Before we get to Darren, I should have started with this. So after, everybody knows, for everyone to know, our city manager, Afton Moore, has turned in her 30-day resignation letter effective basically July 1st. She will stay with us through July 30th. She'll be here and helping us transition into wherever we go from there. So whether we're going to hire a city manager, whether whoever it is, Afton's going to help in the meantime to transition through and get the things that we don't know that we don't know. So anyways, just so that is out, everybody knows, we are going to go into our public forum. Oh, absolutely. Sorry, Darren, I skipped you right over. I know you didn't have much tonight, but
Much time, so I'm
go
grateful.
ahead.
Grateful you're not giving me a ton.
No, go. I want to hear everything you've got.
Just so you know, 2 weeks ago, we had the water district, their main line going to Virgin broke on the west side of the parkway. It came down and did quite a bit of damage to Old Church Road. And so the water district has been cleaning that up. Our public works guys were out there the night that it happened, super cleaning it up. We had about 3 feet of sand on the road. They got it so that people could get into their houses, take care of the things that they needed to. The water district has hired a contractor, and the contractor is out there cleaning it up. They're going to be replacing a bunch of things that were damaged, and then they're also meeting with the property owners to make sure that they're made whole on their different any kind of damages that they're. First, they wanted to make sure that we had our storm drain system back intact. They're cleaning out the pond that was placed in phase 2 of the Parkside subdivision. Cleaning out the pipes there, the storm drain pipes. We've got a storm drain pipe, which is super small down at the bottom of Old Church, in the old part of Old Church Road there. They're gonna clean that out, jet it out so that it's actually functional again. And they're doing their best. It's costing, there's a lot of manpower up there, plus their contractor, so it's not going to be a super quick process to get everything back to the way it was. But if you're right up there right now, you can just see some remnants of what happened. They've cleaned up a lot in 2 weeks. So that was getting a contractor that's not busy right now is a difficult task.
Yeah, it's
So-
great that they dropped what they were doing, some of their guys, and brought them right over for us. So that's outstanding.
They've done some great work there. The Westfield restroom, JD actually did a walkthrough with the contractor tonight. Super nice finished. It does still need to go through the building inspector to give his final inspection. But, so next week we'll be working on finalizing that. But it's it's fully functional for the most part. JD is still putting in some toilet facility, toilet tissue and doorknobs and locks and a few things such as that. So other than that, we're there.
Nice. It's a good looking building. If you guys haven't been down to look at it, it looks really good. So
Walk through it. I think JD was going to put some just doorknobs on it. He ordered some probably a week or two ago. And so those should be in, I believe, next week and the following week. But yeah, it's turned out well.
Yeah.
So, for a restaurant.
right. Perfect.
And then the tank is all the other thing I was going to talk about. And Bob reported on that water tank.
All right. Any questions for Darren?
I got one.
Yes.
So that's great that our public work guys came out initially. Does the water district reimburse us for that?
We've had discussion with that. Yes, we have. I'm gonna have a discussion. I have a meeting with Zach French from the water district next Monday. I have we're gonna do a plethora of subjects and different things, but he said they always talk about that for just a few minutes. And yeah, they had actually our guys didn't get much overtime because they're very mindful of that. So they took off a little bit earlier on another day, which they didn't need to. But super good employees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Sunday evening. It was about 6 o'clock. I get a phone call.
for sure.
Hey, we got a broke water line. I called JD. He ran down there, got all the guys down there, tractors, everything. They
Yeah,
did
no,
a
that's
great
great.
job.
Absolutely.
They're working for the common good,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
They do appreciate their jobs and they're super grateful.
Yeah, no, that's,
When somebody will do that.
yeah, that's great. They're that conscientious, take care of the.
If we didn't go over time, I'd just say, just help the water district. I mean, they help
Yeah.
us,
Right, yeah, we're not.
I wouldn't be too
No,
worried.
yeah.
I wouldn't be too worried about a few.
There's
hours.
not much.
Just asking.
Okay. Sorry, I skipped over you, Darren. All right, we're now going to move into our public forum section of our meeting. Come to the mic, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
What are you smiling about?
Just love to see you.
Good. Stacy Eaton, live here in Tokerville. So as you all know, I've been pretty frustrated about some issues going on in the city and it sounds like it's being resolved. When I spoke last city council meeting, I couldn't stay till the end, but I watched it. First, I do consider each one of you a personal friend, and I still do. I was pretty harsh, but that just, I think, shows my level of frustration of what has been going on. But I did see, Mayor, I saw your comments at the end of the meeting about the staff and how we have great staff. And I want the residents to know that we do have very good staff. I think Daisy does a great job. I think Ruth does. Darren, the ladies at the front desk. We have very good people who work here, and I think they do their job to the best that they can. And so I just want to make sure that I clarify that. The other thing is my wife just sent me a message about the 4th of July thing, that there is also
There's the
quilts
Yes, there is. the
being
quilts.
displayed. And I just want you to know, my quilt is in there. I'm not going to say which one, but it's very colorful and it's 3D. So if you choose to vote for it, just throwing that out there.
Anita is watching you try to bribe votes.
Oh, is that what that is?
I
would
don't know. I
just-
don't bribe or persuade.
Anyway, so thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank
Anybody else have anything? All right, we're going to move on to our business portion of the meeting. Business item F2, discuss and possible action on approving an expenditure of the amount of $287,000 for land acquisition on the Tocqueville Parkway project. So this is my brain dead. The building lot on the south side of the slope.
There you do have an agenda item sheet there.
Yep.
Which basically gives you a little bit of the background. We, essentially, this is just for land acquisition. That is going to accommodate that cut and that additional work that needs to be done there on the south side.
And this money is coming out of the Parkway funds.
And this will be coming out of the Parkway funds. And all of the supporting documentation is in your package right now. The price does include all the paperwork such as deeds and
Appraisals.
and different things such as that title boards to make sure that we are crossing every T and dotting every I to make sure that this transition goes well.
Any questions?
No question for me.
Okay.
I move that we go ahead and approve business item F2, approving an expenditure in the amount of $287,000 for land acquisition on the Tocqueville Parkway project.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. We'll take Chuck's. Joey, we'll start on your end. This is a roll call vote.
Aye.
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 All right, motion carries. Item F3, discuss the possible appointment of the planning commission alternate through the calendar year of 2025. Glenn Levitt has sent us an email saying he would like to do this position. I think Glenn is would be great on this.
Is there anybody else to put in?
Nope. No, nobody else
He's
to
in
put
there.
in.
Done.
And I've been headhunting. I
Is
have
he any
been,
relation to Jason?
he has been known to be a couple of years older than Jason, but of the same family. So, Glenn's great. I've known Glenn since high school, so let's just put it that way. He's great.
That's a long time.
That is a long time, Chuck. Not quite as long as yours, but yes, it's been a long time. Anyway, so he said he'll do it, and I'm happy to have him on there. So if you guys approve of that, that'd be great.
I'm good with that. Do you need a motion or is it just consent?
I think just consent, but go ahead and make a motion.
Motion.
Glenn Levitt? Here, make a motion to approve Glenn Levitt as the planning commission alternate through the calendar year 2025.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Item F4, discuss and possible action on resolution 2024, modifying Tocqueville City Resolution 2021.05, establish fees for water obtained from the Washington County Water Conservancy District to define subdivision requirements. Darren, you want to run over this with us for us?
Yeah. So really what this is essentially you had created the ordinance or resolution, I'm sorry. This resolution that would allow for people to be those few people that do not have irrigation. This was done, I don't remember what the year was, but thank you, David. 2021 is when that was done. So when we were going through the resolution, we realized that it says finished subdivision. The proper terminology is recorded subdivision. And so these are for the non-irrigation users. It just clarifies so much because finished subdivision could be interpreted a different way, but a recorded subdivision in the Washington County Recorder's Office and all throughout the engineering survey world, everybody is very familiar with what a recorded subdivision is.
Perfect. That was it.
That's essentially it, is to create that clarification.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
One word clarification.
Yeah. Hey, it comes down to
This is a
sometimes
tough one. I don't
word.
know. I wish, we need to have a lot of discussion.
Does anybody have any questions on the resolution?
No. I don't.
I'll move that we accept the change.
Okay. I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion on this item? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're just gonna have a discussion on the city council policy and procedures manual. It's been uploaded. I want you guys to go through this. look at it, read it, highlight, red line, whatever you want to change, whatever we need to change, and see where we're at on the policies and procedures for city council. So mayor, all of us elected officials.
I'm gonna just point out one thing. It's just like so on the vehicle storage, at the very start of that vehicle thing, it says, you know, that you can take yours home, but then at the end, it says all elected officials must park behind the gate. So there needs to be a little
Clarification on there.
exclusion, if that's gonna be.
Well,
the case.
Darren's got one.
Darren, well, he's not an elected
He's not
official.
Oh, not elected. official.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
right.
just for the
Okay.
elected official, but since
Alright.
So,
it kind of contradicts each other on that one.
so I went through this specifically. Yeah, that was one of the things I was looking at, Daisy. So if you bring that one up. And sometimes I channel my inner Jenny Chamberlain, sometimes with the planning commission, sometimes in her specifics on the way things are laid out and grammatical errors and things like that sometimes. So,
Perfect.
how about Daisy, the first one, 7.1, and this might address a little bit of what Joey was talking about. You got 7.1. How about if we make the next line, Tocqueville City may grant a council member, why don't we make that 7.2? And then the next one, why don't we make that 7.3? Use of vehicles owned by Tocqueville City must comply with the following. And so that might be a way to delineate this. If we go down to driver's license, and again, this is just me and you guys can tell me no. Driver's license, why don't you just say driver license? I know that if you look at the federal regulation, it uses apostrophe. And if you look at California, it uses apostrophe. But if you look at Utah, it just says driver license. So I think it might be good to that we do what Utah does. The next thing is, what exactly are we, and I'm not sure who did this. Daisy, did you do this or?
I think
Okay, so if you look at what driver's license, I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to tell me. Because you've got the commercial driver's license requirements, but then you go into accordingly a valid Utah driver's license is required for all elected officials operating a city vehicle. So are you saying we have to have a commercial driver's license to operate a city vehicle or not? And if
Well,
that
it just says
if that-
commercial drivers required for operation of
the
commercial
vehicle
motor
over
vehicles
26,000.
Okay, I got that. I get that, but then it says accordingly, a valid Utah driver's license is required for all elected officials operating a city vehicle. So it's a little bit,
City, yeah.
so maybe we need to separate that into two different things.
Non-commercial city vehicle.
Or however that needs to be corrected. So that would be my next thing that we need to look into that, how to
Okay.
fix that. Either take accordingly out or put that first, a valid Utah driver's license is required, and then you can add,
get
and then you can
commercial.
add, get into the commercial.
Now that would work if you put
Okay,
if you put put the regular driver's license first, and then it comes down to if you're driving a vehicle over 26,000 GW, you have to have a commercial
Yeah.
driver license,
perfect.
something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Class A.
The next one, insurability. Elected officials must maintain insurability under the city's vehicle insurance policy. So that is the city's vehicle insurance policy that's insuring us, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make that clear.
I think there's some clauses in that insurance policy. If you've had a DUI, you're not probably gonna.
There are some things
There's
that
some-
Okay,
you can disqualify yourself by having certain violations.
okay, all right. And then, yeah, accidents is fine. Some places, some government entities, they'll put an accident packet inside of government vehicles. So if you do get in an accident, it tells you what you need to do, and that's kept in the glove box. So that might be something to
Yeah.
consider for our vehicles. The next line, gasoline purchases. Most of our stuff out there is diesel, so why don't we
Yeah,
change that
put the
to,
fuel. just
why don't
put
we make
fuel.
that fuel purchases?
We do have, yeah, okay.
Just put fuel.
Yeah,
'cause it
instead of
doesn't matter.
gasoline. It says all fuel purchases, but
Right, it
you
says
got gasoline there, so change that.
We could
Might have
put it-
electric
If
vehicle.
you're in England, it's petrol.
Well, we're not there.
So yeah, just maybe we could put fuel purchases.
Might be there.
Yeah, so fuel purchases there. And then like Joey said, with the vehicle storage, all city vehicles must be parked securely behind locked gates on city property, blah, blah, blah. No elected official, with the exception of the mayor, will be allowed to drive a city vehicle home after business hours for either work or personal use. So if we add, with the exception of the mayor right there, that would cover it.
How do you get these?
So those are the ones under the city vehicle policy.
What are you saying, Joey?
How did she like keep?
Well, she didn't watch the video.
Did you get all that? You can have my notes too. I'll give them to you.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
got nose, she's got short
All
hair.
right.
Are you done with yours?
I was going to, go ahead, Joey. Yeah, you go ahead.
On 4.2 on the email policy. Not sure if this reads really.
On which one?
It's on an email policy. It says all elected officials are required to use a Tokerville email. And then further down in that, a couple sentences says, every elected official will be expected to use. So it's required and then expected. So I don't know if that's, I don't know if that reads right or not. It's a small little grammatical thing too. And then the big topic is obviously 4.3, next one.
So Joey, if you're inclined, I would, I'd like to, if there's more corrections before we hit 4.3, if it's all right, I would like to see that we table
We're
the
not-
correction.
we're not-
Well, not, okay, let me
Yeah, this is
put
just
it this
discussion,
way.
yeah.
I would like to see that we hold off on making changes and discussing 4.3 until we can get our counsel here again.
Oh, our legal.
Our legal counsel, and then we
Right.
can,
Well, I have no problem with making whatever.
Until discussion, until we're ready.
Yeah, we're all discussion. We can bring it up and then we can make
okay, that's
changes.
fine.
I'd love to make all the changes we want and then give it to legal and then let them
Okay.
say, hey, we need to change a couple words.
That's fine.
Legal's already reviewed it, right?
Yeah.
Very close.
Okay,
Can't make comments with these little,
okay,
it's hard to see on the screen, but it's like little yellow.
Yeah.
ones. If you hover over it, it goes, this comment will show.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that either.
Doesn't work on my side.
Does it work here, Daisy? Yeah, it's not working.
I have the same document and it should, it's not all.
Yeah, it's not working for us. So,
I'm fine with that, so we
what?
can wait, if you want to wait till legal's here to.
Yeah, to discuss that part, but with the rest of the changes, the staff can make those corrections if
Absolutely.
that's okay. How's that sound? Is there any other changes, Joey, that you?
Did you guys see any?
I don't think we need the org chart on the last page. I don't think it's a procedure or policy. We need to have an organizational chart on that last page.
You rid of it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I already did.
The last page. How about the second to the last page?
It's there. Don't look at that page.
So it's on the existing one, Gary, you just want to take it out?
Yeah, I don't think it belongs there. It's not a procedure or policy.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. And if you have any other changes, email them to Daisy and then let's put them in and then we'll discuss them and have the attorney look at them again and yeah,
And then we'll discuss the 4.3.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, we can discuss that and once we get it where we like it, then we'll adopt it. So. All right, we got a calendar event, of course, tomorrow, 4th of July. Everybody show up, please. Tell your neighbors, bring your neighbors. Everybody show up. We're gonna have a great time. These have been getting better and better every year. So hopefully everybody is there tomorrow. Breakfast is at 8. The parade starts at 7:30 and we're gonna run through probably 11 o'clock or 11:30 by the time I get out of there. So everybody come and hang out. So we're gonna close this section of I need a motion to move into a closed session.
Before you go on to that, could I go back to,
Yes.
I want you to know that Daisy has been a super rock star in the absence of our planning and zoning administrator. She has helped me so much. I could not do that. There's so many things coming upon me.
Yep.
And so grateful for her. So know the guys that I couldn't
Right.
do this without the staff that's there. Just know that.
Perfect.
Thanks, Daisy.
Yeah.
I
All of
think
them.
we
Thank you very
already
much.
know all that.
So, thank you, Daisy.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Yep.
Just wanted to give you that, a bit of information before you go into closed
Yep.
session.
Okay, I need a motion to move into closed.
So moved.
We need a,
Second.
well, we need a reason. We have to have a
I'm
reason.
pulling it up.
Joey's gonna
May I
pull it
make
up.
a motion to move into a closed session, discuss the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual? Anybody need any litigation?
Nope. Have a motion,
Second.
have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're closing this session for now. And thank you for coming, and we'll see you all tomorrow.